What just happened between Washington and Iran could change the global order overnight. And the most shocking part, America's closest ally just turned against it. Donald Trump has launched direct military strikes on Iran. And within hours, Mark Carney did something no Canadian leader has ever done during a U.S. war. He sanctioned the United States. Yes, you heard that right. And the consequences are already shaking global markets. But to understand how we got here, we need to rewind 48 hours. For decades, the conflict between the United States and Iran was like a slow-burning fuse. Sanctions, proxy wars, cyber attacks, secret operations. Dangerous but contained. Till now. Yesterday morning, Trump appeared on live television and made a stunning announcement. The United States had launched airstrikes on Iranian nuclear facilities in Natanz, Isfahan, and Fordow. No diplomatic buildup. No congressional vote. Just bombs. Trump declared Iran an imminent threat to American security and said the era of waiting was over. Normally, this is where the Western alliance rallies behind Washington. But this time, something very different happened. The shocking response. Instead of support, Canada pushed back. Standing in Ottawa, Mark Carney calmly delivered a message that stunned the world. Canada will not participate in this war. But he didn't stop there. If U.S. military operations continue, Canada will impose targeted economic sanctions on the United States. Within minutes, the internet exploded. Trump fired back online, calling Carney a traitor to the Western alliance. But while the political drama played out, the markets were already reacting. And what happened next terrified investors. The market panic. Within an hour of the announcement, oil prices surged past $140 per barrel. Why? Because Iran controls the Strait of Hormuz, one of the most critical oil routes on Earth. Nearly 20% of the world's oil supply passes through that narrow corridor every single day. If that route is disrupted, gas prices everywhere skyrocket. But the real shock wasn't oil. It was Canada. Most Americans don't realize this, but Canada is the largest foreign supplier of energy to the United States. More than 60% of U.S. crude oil imports come from Canada. So when Carney threatened sanctions targeting defense supply chains and energy exports, he wasn't making a symbolic statement. He was targeting the core arteries of the American war machine. And markets noticed. Defense stocks surged. Then suddenly crashed. Investors realized something unprecedented was happening. For the first time in modern history, America launched a war, and its closest ally punished it for doing so. Part 4. The strategy. Here's where things get even more interesting. Trump is fighting this conflict with military force. Carney is fighting it with economic strategy. Before entering politics, Mark Carney led the Bank of England and the Bank of Canada. He's not a battlefield commander. He's a financial strategist. And while Trump ordered airstrikes, Carney reportedly began calling leaders in Europe and Asia. Brussels, Berlin, Tokyo. The goal? Build a counter-coalition against unilateral war. If that coalition holds, this could become the biggest fracture in Western alliances since World War II. Why this matters to you? You might think this is just geopolitics. It's not. This affects the price of everything in your life. Groceries, shipping, manufacturing. The global economy depends on stable energy flows and stable alliances. Right now, both are under threat. If this conflict escalates, we could see the biggest economic shock since the pandemic. And possibly something even worse. Part 6. The 3 possible outcomes. Right now there are 3 possible scenarios. Scenario 1. The contained war. Airstrikes continue, Iran retaliates through proxies, oil stays high, and eventually political pressure forces a drawdown. Painful but survivable. Scenario 2. The spiral. Trump escalates further with ground operations. Iran retaliates in the Strait of Hormuz. Global energy supply collapses. This could trigger a worldwide recession or worse. Scenario 3. The realignment. Canada, Europe, and Japan form an economic bloc that pressures Washington to back down. That would fundamentally reshape the global balance of power and end the era of automatic Western support for U.S. wars. Futuro engagement hook. So the real question now is this. Is Mark Carney defending international law? Or is he gambling with the entire global order while a war is unfolding? And more importantly, did we just witness the moment the Western alliance began to break apart? Let me know what you think in the comments. And if you want to see what happens when global markets open tomorrow, because trust me, the reaction could be massive, make sure you subscribe. Because history right now isn't just moving fast, it's exploding.